You are now tuning in to the Evolution Daily Podcast.
All right, guys, welcome back to the Evolution Daily Podcast. We'll keep Julius Caesar over here. I'm here with Chakra Kitty. Meow. The entire podcast, I'm asking you questions, and you go, So, guys, Chakra Kitty and I, we go way back. We originally met at Dahlia.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. I think I looked over and I saw your gold chain glistening, and you bottle service VIP booth.
Yes.
You were with.
That's how it goes. That's how we fucking
ours.
do it.
You were with another mutual old friend.
Yes.
Who?
You got to speak a little closer to that,
Yeah,
though.
like this.
Yeah, maybe even if you scoot your chair forward, like this way, then you'll be kind of up on it more.
Like this?
But then you could still, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and maybe at some point I'll even have you like take it off. We
Okay,
can
yeah,
just do
because I
that.
turn my head and look at you.
You know what? Here's what we're gonna do. Take it off.
All right,
So here, do that, and then now just hold it.
Oh, I think
I'm
that feels more comfortable.
This is better.
Because I need eye contact.
Okay, this is good.
Where were we? Oh, Dahlia, a couple years ago, pre-COVID, so it was nice and sweaty, and everybody
Sweaty
was
and intimate,
and
as
everybody
fuck.
was wanting to fuck, and I would look up and I saw an old friend, and I definitely I think the power of
That was Mark.
Mark and Jason.
That's right.
And that's when the power
Yep.
of Chakra Kitty comes in, and you can just walk right past security and I started talking to you, and
Yeah, we vibed because you have a random ass video on YouTube somewhere where like you're just smoking a bong.
Yeah.
And it's like a fucking huge thing. So then Mark was like, hey, this guy, because Mark's always very eccentric. Mark is just like, he's like the most socialite person I've ever met.
He really is. He's like a cousin of the Kardashians for sure.
He's a connector. He's definitely a connector.
He'll be thrilled we shouted him out in this when I send it to him.
Yeah, for sure.
honestly.
Scoot a little closer to me. I was going to have Hunter come back out. Okay, there we go. This is good. I just want to make sure that you're on there. They've got to look at Chakra Kitty.
So it's a podcast, but a visual podcast.
It's a video, yeah.
Oh, shit, you tricked me. You said fucking podcast.
What the fuck?
fuck?
What if you thought? What did
first
you
of all,
think that he was doing right there
I
for
thought
the
it was
last
a radio show.
It's both. It's on YouTube.
I
it's
maybe
here.
would have
Done what?
So I
this
just
is
got
you. This is you.
You're right. Okay, well, it's like when you didn't know someone was taking a candid photo of you.
I don't know what you thought was happening
don't
here for the
look
last
right
15 minutes. Well, no, don't. Well, you can look at it.
thought
I like
maybe-
looking at them. They like looking directly into my soul.
I don't
Okay,
know
hey.
what I thought was happening.
Oh, okay. All right. So you will have to hold it a little, like just kind of like this, sort of. Yeah. Don't pretend it's a dick, Chakra Kitty. Okay. Don't be out here fucking.
No, okay.
Okay. Look. So you're the most interesting person I've ever met in my life, and I've said Hunter and I will talk about this for a while. We've talked about it for a while. Of like, we got to get Steph D on the podcast eventually. We got to get Chakra Kitty out in this bitch because you're one of the more interesting people I've ever met.
Thank you. So are you. I mean, yeah, you have.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, I love cult leaders.
What are you? I'm trying to be a cult leader.
Me too.
I am literally
Oh
an
my God.
aspiring.
You're literally doing well.
Have you ever seen Wild Wild Country on
No,
Netflix?
no.
That's like step one in like running a cult.
I will watch it.
Have you ever heard of Osho?
No.
You don't know who Osho is? He's like a famous guru.
Oh, yeah. OSHA.
OSHO.
OSHA.
OSHA. Osho. So Osho basically, I didn't know that this ever happened, but like in the 80s, his followers are called Rajneeshis, right? And Osho, through literally just like donations because from people believing in him, he was super rich, super rich.
Yeah.
And he bought a shit ton of farmland out in Oregon, in the United States.
Okay.
And they started a huge cult.
And what was, so I've heard a lot of these cult stories because my last partner,
Partner.
I've got a couple polyamorous.
Just so you know, my viewers are ratchet as fuck.
Well,
I want you are the most ratchet person I've ever met, and I want you to.
Oh my God, he's so nice. Yeah, so I'm very picky, but I'm also like very open. That's a whole nother thing. What we're talking about, I don't remember.
Basically, like one of your partners in
Oh
Osho.
yeah, so one of my partners told me I was like a cult leader, and he told me a story. Some charismatic, because I like to, obviously they're charismatic. You can't run a fucking cult if you don't have charisma and you're not alluring. And I think it's easier if you look like us and when you're hot. Yeah. So and yeah. But he got everybody there, fed him Kool-Aid, and they all killed. There's so many of these stories.
That's a different one.
Where it goes well, and then it's like, why? What goes wrong?
Yeah, there's some that don't. So I just went and saw Waco. Have you ever heard of the Waco one? That was David Koresh, early 90s.
I watched this special.
Me too. That's when I got obsessed with it.
And I did get really obsessed, and I could tell you so much they did wrong.
Oh.
One, you have to let people be themselves, but then, I don't know. I think I'm more of like I like the dictator vibe. Not dictator shit.
Yeah, no, you do. Let it out.
Okay, I've got it. All right. I do I'm submissive, but that's a whole nother thing. I like to feel like I'm in charge, but I'm not. So I think a good cult leader, it's like a lion right? You have to have way more women than men, and the man and the women all have to like each other, and the man has to be able to fucking please and keep all the men or all the girls from, you know what I mean? And then there can be other men, but they need to be like lower level, almost. I'm
like betas. There can only be one alpha in the true cult.
Yeah, that are like the ones who are there. Like if I have like 10 sister wives, obviously, I might need a stand-in. So maybe the alpha T. Yeah.
Yeah, I think you're the type of cult leader where you would want to be more of an organizer than anything else. Meaning your cult, this would be the cult of Chakra Kitty.
Yeah.
It would be like you have a giant piece of land. Okay. Festivals are thrown there constantly. You're like, there's no rules. There's no masks. Everyone's naked.
Well, see, no, I wouldn't even say it's like to your comfort level. Because for even me, I think, and we were just talking about this before the camera rolled, and for me, I think there's power in the pussy, whatever, free the nipple. But I comfortably feel the most sexy when I always say no holes, no slips, no lips, no nips. Because not that they're not beautiful, but it's that's for. And yes, I also have several partners, so people confuse poly with promiscuous. That's not the case.
Yeah, it's not.
I just have a voracious appetite.
Yeah.
So
Whoa, I felt that. Holy shit.
So when you I lost my train of thought. I'm soup sandwich. I'm talking about sex. I'm all discombobulated.
Yeah, no. I was basically saying, everyone would be naked and fucking, naked, but you're more.
So I almost don't want that because, not that I don't, and I encourage that. Naked, fucking great, but my vibe, I think, would be fucking Garden of Eden. Maybe I'll sell you a dick pouch out of the animal we sacrifice because I'm vegan, but maybe once a year if we're doing a certain moon ritual, daddy can go out and slaughter that beautiful animal for his family, and we can make use of every part, and then we can dance around the water, and there's nudity, but it's almost sensual.
Yeah, for sure. Yep. Are you vegan? Would you say you're vegan mostly for the animal cruelty aspect of it?
No, I'm selfish and egotistical too.
What?
That was a true answer. It's for me too.
But it's for your, because you said for your skin and your body.
Yeah. So that's why I said I'm selfish and ego. So I've always had a sensitivity to everything, highly empathetic. Just equality for all. And I did it for a long time in my life. Was kind of conscious, and then I kind of reached this fuck it. We all have stages. But recently, about the past year, when I switched, I was dealing with a lot of. I'm not going to say my age because it's however old you think, but I was starting to feel, not fuck it, oh shit.
Yeah.
My skin is poor. I'm gaining weight in the wrong places.
I would say that's almost you went from being very conscious to then unconscious, and now you're very conscious again. Conscious of every decision, conscious of what you're putting into your body.
I would say I went from curious and I did a shitload of hallucinogens, got a God complex, and thought I was fucking Shakti Shiva, I was because I'm so obsessed with religious theology. So I read so many books. I thought at a young age I was anointed or enlightened. And then I had this very dark, I'm just coming out of this very dark, probably about 4 years.
Wow.
So the evolution's been. Evolution.
It's been daily.
Oh my God.
You started the
Thank
dumb
you.
joke.
That's when you go from daddy to dad.
Oh my God. Oh, come on, dad. No, that's good. So you, so as far as your dark years, I'm not going to sit here and be let's talk about how dark it got.
We can talk. If you have questions,
Well, so when you say hallucinogens, okay, some people when they do hallucinogens, it's I tripped on shrooms every once in a while. You've told me crazy day in, day out DMT.
Yeah, so I mean, this is the tattoo for the molecular structure of psilocybin.
Okay.
I have several not psychotropic encouraged tattoos. So also like I've always been obsessed with like psychopharmacology. I was a psych major at Ohio State. Was a drug and alcohol counselor. Like I wear many hats, right? But I've mostly obsessed with neurochemistry and the idea that we can take it even higher, quantum entanglement, right? Everything we touch, everything we absorb changes our DNA, changes our mind. Take it to a bigger level, of course, drugs, pharmaceuticals, food, whatever substance you're choosing to enhance your senses with. I, from a young age, this goes so deep, but with early diagnoses of like psychosis and schizophrenia and maybe autism and I have a hearing disorder. So I was just kind of tossed around the system and I was a lab rat when I was younger in a lot of institutions. And I was everybody's favorite pet rat is what I used to say because I was like, my boss now calls me a golden retriever on LSD is what the science experiment has turned into. Because I've learned that there's nothing wrong with me, first of all. And then I also learned that drugs can be fascinating and they can hurt you or harm you. So I've had plenty of times where I was in, I would call it that word addiction or in a cycle. I like to use the word cycle because I think that's less, stigmatizing.
Okay.
But then you can be addicted to
that's
everything.
actually cool though. I like that difference between like cycle and addiction. Because I had a buddy that was in AA for a while, and he said that and he's still sober, but the reason why he hated AA was because they were constantly forcing him to be like, I am an addict. I am, what's that word? Like, I am powerless to my addiction.
Step one,
and he was
we
like,
admitted we were
"Fuck,
powerless and our lives had become unmanageable.
And he's like, why do I have to say this every time I come in here? Like, this feels weird.
Because I know, just like you do, I know we both watch and do affirmations. Like, I'm huge on that. And people are like, why do you watch that shit when you sleep? The frequencies, that's a whole nother talk. But because you are it's just like the drugs. Because Dr. Emoto, if you know who he is, he studies the water molecules. Have you seen that study?
No.
So he takes like a water molecule, right? And he says like the word love to it. And it makes like a beautiful sacred geometry design. And they'll say like hate or Hitler or just some word with a negative energy, right? It goes back to that quantum entanglement. The energy on a word, the energy, and it's like this ugly mess, and we're water. And that also goes like to just same with plants. You talk to a plant, humans, and it comes back to the words we use and the forgiveness. So the drugs, this hallucinogens, if you will, I can hallucinate with no drugs, and that's something I've learned these past 2 years with my the evolution in like my schooling and my classes I've been taking. That's where the yogis come in and the breathing and plant-based.
Yeah.
Just loving your temple, starting to treat yourself as a goddess or a god or a king and a queen. And once you start to love yourself the way you would like a super partner you were infatuated with, like once you become obsessed, I don't know.
That's great. No, that's beautiful. It does so much of it. I go through these phases, right? I go through my own cycles where I get very deeply into like spirituality. Do you know who Teal Swan is?
Yes, sir. Yeah, of course.
I watched a lot of Teal over the winter. I have this life coach I work with, Hadia.
Yeah.
She's like she calls herself a spiritual counselor, I go through phases where I'm like really into all that, but then I go through phases where I really turn my back on all of it though. I'm like, fuck all this. I'm going soft. I need to like fucking get out here and like take massive action.
Fuck a bunch of bitches. Yo, same. I'll go from like literally, so my 3 months in December,
talk about this shit.
I'm on like this spiritual journey. I've always been a seeker of truth, love, forgiveness, redemption, because I think my biggest journey has been healing the stuff other people have done to me, which made me do stuff to myself. Not made me, I decided, right? And once again, it's cycles. I didn't mean to do this because it happened. All bullshit aside, it's like once you realize it's just, I'm not dead. Yeah. I can choose to not be a dick every day and choose to treat myself well. And I just noticed.
Do you think so you, I would say you're one of like the least, something I've definitely dealt with over the years is, and I told you this before the podcast, is like holding grudges against people. I've now that I'm aware of it, I've realized that like I've compartmentalized people in my life as like, you're my fucking enemy now.
Yeah.
You're my mortal fucking
Yeah.
enemy. Where like, say we're in like a social setting and like some dude like fucking slighted me in front of like several people and I didn't know this guy. It's different, right?
Yeah.
If someone like we'll say like Trey or Jason or somebody, if they
Right.
roast the fuck out of me in front of a bunch of people, oh, that's my friend. It's funny.
Mm-hmm.
I'm fuck you, motherfucker. That's different. But like someone you just meet and they fucking slight you in front of like a couple people. And I've like in my life, I've like compartmentalized people as like mortal enemies and shit. And I've like sought revenge and held on to hate and shit. And that's something I'm kind of trying to like work on doing. There's a great quote, maybe you've heard it. It's hating somebody is like drinking poison and thinking it's killing the other person. So if I go through life like hating Chakra Kitty, you're just living your life. You're out at a restaurant, you're partying, and I'm sitting here like, that bitch, that fucking you fucking bitch. So I'm working on even just like releasing, being more understanding of like, hey, that person, they have their own pain, they have their own shit.
Yeah, I love that. And that's a lot of the work I do with my clients is that self-forgiveness. Because I always try to say, if you see someone like so that experience, you said you don't know the person, you hate them. I always say we're a mirror, right? You're a mirror of me. And what we have to go back to is our childhood, and even before that, our past life traumas, right? What grandma, grandpa, where do we come from? And this doesn't have to be, if you don't believe in the hippy dippy is or frou-frou, what my dad calls it. We're talking metaphysical stuff that happened, right? Like what did you go through as a child, right? So we don't even have to go past life. Let's go to, and we don't have to really talk about it, but it's like, I know because you're my friend, the things you've been through, right? And how now you, like I said, you're king of the jungle. But, and sometimes and just like for me, I call myself Beyonce. But sometimes I look in the mirror and I see Scabby or Step on Me or the girl that was locked in the psych ward or whatever. And maybe if I feel slighted by a person, I will instantly project my ego or whatever instead of, and this is when that healing comes in, and it can come in with hypnosis, Reiki, that's a whole other thing. Instead, and this is my mantra of forgiveness and why I'm able to, I've had so much pain inflicted on me, and I've also inflicted so much that now when it comes at me, if you just meet someone with nothing but curiosity, and they almost first they'll get more mad, but everybody will be your friend, and it's magical.
Yeah, I feel that for sure. I think that, so something I heard from Esther Hicks, you know, like they read all the like law of attraction books and stuff.
Yeah.
Is or Abraham Hicks.
Yeah.
Abraham Hicks, right?
Okay.
Esther's the woman, and she says that like God speaks through her name to like Abraham and stuff. It's a huge deal.
Is she the old one? No, that's Dorothy. There's so many of
this
these channelers.
This one's the most famous though.
Okay, yeah.
She's the most famous.
Yeah, I've seen her. Yes.
Yeah. So she said something profound, and I was like, oh man, right? Because so there's different people in life where maybe, you know, you're like the most like free, like open spiritual person I know, like one of them. There's like different people in life where maybe I'm like a little like nervous around these people. And what it is, it'll be around people that like I low key like don't like, kind of, right? So let's just say I have like a great friend, like I'm so excited to go like hang out with this person, and then somebody else who like we are friends but like we disagree a lot, I fucking whatever, and maybe I'm gonna be like literally just kind of more nervous hanging out with that person possibly. But she says that your soul natural vibration, like we are now in these physical bodies, so therefore like our consciousness or our souls are now physically separated, right? We are physically separated. But your soul only wants to love other souls because it recognizes it as yourself. Yeah. I like my soul sees you and it's like, oh, it's us, it's me, it's whatever. And the more barrier I create between that, fuck this guy, this motherfucker, this fucking whatever, then the more you're now just the most out of alignment you can be. And so that is where it's like self-love, love everybody. Forgiveness will just make you more socially free, physically free, just everything. Yeah.
And I love how quick we bounce, because you said alignment, and it brought me to what I was going to say before. A huge reason for my change, I think, especially these past few years, like I smoked cigarettes for, I'm not going to say how long it'll age me. I smoked cigarettes for over a decade. I mean, fucking like, hey boys. Yeah. Gross, dude. And I ate fast food. I chugged soda. And I'm not talking like, oh, those are all terrible things you can't do once in a while. I'm saying I didn't give a fudge about Oh, look, I said fudge. That was cute because I'm working on not swearing so much because I work with kids. That's a whole nother story.
That's nice.
Yeah.
That's nice.
The alignment.
You're around children?
I know.
Fuck,
I'm not going to say where because I don't want my job taken away.
No.
Yeah, they think I'm like a circus clown. It's cute.
Yeah.
But the alignment. So on December 21st of 2021, Jupiter, Saturn.
2020.
What did I say?
2021.
Well, we're not there yet, huh?
Right. Oh, is something gonna happen?
No. I'm just fried.
Okay.
You know, this past one.
Okay.
The Jupiter, Saturn, and Earth aligned for the first time since the Star of Bethlehem, which we all know that story. And it's not really the Star of Bethlehem. It was the light created. And what that alignment did was we shifted from the age of Pisces, which we all know that symbol, right? It's the two fish.
Okay.
And it's the yin and the yang, so it's the shadow self and the light self. And this fish, if you look at the picture, one's swimming against the grain, and we all know the story. If you're swimming upstream, how far are you? You're going to be exhausted. You're never going to, right? So the age of Pisces is like the duality, but it's not integration, right? It's separation. We've been in the age of Pisces for and we've all heard of the old song, "This is the age of Aquarius." Okay, right. So they've been prophesizing and talking about this. Oracles, dreamers, star children, rainbow warriors, all of us. Yeah. Sorry, I get really excited when I start talking about this. I'm dancing.
I have been killing it with online game. I've been going on basically a new date every single night. But more importantly, my students have been killing it with online game as well, dominating on Hinge, Bumble, Tinder, all of these platforms. How have they done it? How have I been doing it? With Online Game Decoded. This was formerly known as PST. We decided to clean up the image a little bit. So if you already got PST, you got OGD. And if you don't have Online Game Decoded yet, you need to sign up. A lot of information out there is just kind of telling you what you should do online. What we've done is we've taken it a whole nother step further. Inside Online Game Decoded, you're going to receive over 30 online game breakdowns showing unique openers. So many of you guys send awful openers. I even hear this from girls. Guys are terrible at opening. It's going to give you unique openers. It's going to show you how to stack your conversations in a way where you're always moving towards a final destination, because guys are just rambling on and on. You get a little friend, just having a little conversation. You got to move to the end finish line. Our conversations show you how to do that, ultimately how to close. Again, you're getting over 30 breakdowns as well as 6 modules, including a module on how to craft the perfect profile. Many of you are putting out a billboard for an offer that nobody wants to buy. Online game profiles are your billboard. This is your offer. What are you putting out to the world? And so many of you are getting it wrong. You're spending hours a day and getting no results. Online Game Decoded is going to get you those results. Head over to onlinegamedecoded.com. The link will be down below wherever you're listening to this. Now enjoy the rest of the episode.
So this is what our ancestors have been talking about. This has been coming for years. And by this, I mean this healing, this forgiveness for all. We could go back. There's been hatred and genocide, and I use the word patriarchy in the least feminist sense at all, because I'm about it. I am just as fluid as, I mean patriarchy in the sense of women can be patriarchs. More of like the
power
punishing,
dynamic.
Capitalistic, shameful society. Like, oh, I can have a fetish and rule corporation, but I have to like sneaky bohemian gross it. Like, let's all do our kinks in public. Let's all just be nice. And I get. Don't quote me on this because it sounds hippy dippy, but like this is dream life. But I think, and this is going to take thousands of years for it to mesh. I'm not saying all of a sudden we're going to be shit in rainbows, but I'm feeling pain lifting for people who don't know what gender they are, for people who, you know what I mean? Just so much healing is happening. I feel like, and that's what the age of Aquarius is. So we shifted into the age of Aquarius, which is water. It's going with the ebb and flow. It's like, so mother, divine mother and divine father have just come in. And even if it's like we feel this peace, especially if you are, this is when I feel you woke, bro. But seriously, if you're attuned, if you're attuned and you've started, we all know this verbiage, opened your pineal gland, and you are, and I say this all like, but I'm not, because I'm so serious. I had to look at the camera a second, because I'm like, a
lot of these people are deep in. They all have heard like Hadia, my spiritual lady, like
cool. And sometimes I feel like I have to condescend myself because I feel like people are waking up. Yeah,
they're into
the documentary Heal. Have you seen that?
No, but I know a guy in it, so I want to watch it. This
Ew.
dude, Peter Crone. I don't know him personally.
Which is he the
He's been on
weird?
he's English. And I
What
know
is-
he's in it just from him being on a podcast and saying
There's
that
this
he's in
dude called
it.
the Lightning Wizard, and he has a PhD.
Oh, it's not Peter Crone.
He brings
no.
people into his studio. This is off topic, but I feel like you'll enjoy it. And it looks like a kind of creep, way more like I smoke meth and live in an alley vibes than
Okay.
this, like wires and like tables. But he brings these, he's like, oh, and he does like sound healing. He reads people's brain waves. He does like some sort of MRI because he's some sort of neuro.
Yeah.
Who knows? He coined himself genius. And he watches the brainwaves and he finds the right frequency. So say you have kidney stone. He's going to go in and he's going to, because you know they can like kill kidney stones with sound frequencies, right?
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Oh, they're doing, that's a whole nother thing.
Whoa.
Yeah, that's a whole nother
Is that
modality
hippy
of
dippy
healing.
or like science?
No,
Like,
no,
just
this is
like, you'll go to a
science. So
hospital
this is
and, like-
science. They're using sound
Yeah.
waves. So we all love frequencies, right? That's, I love how fast we're
Sure.
spitballing.
I fuck with frequencies.
Anybody who's watching this broadcast, they're like, holy shit. So the idea behind frequencies is everything has a resonation, right? A certain hertz. Your
Yes.
heart and every chakra.
Even like
is
every physical object.
Right, everything.
Yeah.
Every chakra is stimulated by a certain color and a certain sound frequency, right? So your heart is about a 432 to a 528 is what it's, and that's called the frequency of life. It'll come out of when a bee is buzzing its wings.
Okay.
When a heart, so you can obviously simulate that noise and make like one of those nice like little meditation tracks, but with like a sound bowl or nature's, it's gonna do that. So there's ways we're learning with science and we're mixing like the esoteric and the mystic with the metaphysical, and it's just gaining traction, and it's exciting.
It is, yeah, yeah. And there's people that like will not even be into any of this at all,
Yeah.
like hardcore science that they've done where they've even fucking placebo surgery, like surgically fixed knees and shit. There's a very famous
Oh, I
study
know.
where like 5 people got a knee surgery, 5 people fake got one, and their knee
Hey,
healed.
what did I tell you? I was just supposed to have 2 months ago. They told me I needed surgery.
Yeah.
Boom. The doctor said, "Looks like you're healing yourself." I said, "Oh, does it?" Because I am. No, because and that's the truth. Everybody who says they don't believe, I'm one of those people. I used to be like, "I'm not going to show you." I'm like, "Come here. You want me to pull out my Ouija board and shall we talk to some spirits? Or maybe I can like I want him, and not even, I used to do it like egotistically and kind of like, oh, I'll show you what's near. Now it's like, I want people to believe in love in God. And God, don't hold on to the idea of the word, Yahweh, whatever. Love, truth, and authenticity. Because God's in you, God's in me. But there's also something, and I don't claim to know that. But what I do claim to know is we can sense other things when we start waking up from our own, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, it's powerful stuff. So you're going to start a cult, the Chakra Kitty cult.
Chakra Kitty cult.
I was going to get started.
How it's going to work is you have to be able to make kitty cats purr. You can't be like a ratchet alley cat, though.
Yeah.
You can
yeah.
be reformed because I am a ratchet alley cat.
I will say this. Is the way we know each other. So we talked about how we met.
Yeah.
But then basically you started like dating one of my roommates. So then you became, and you were around so
We lived
much.
together for about 2 years almost.
You basically lived at
You
our
saw
house.
me. You saw a lot of my psychedelic, and yeah, tripping on the balls.
You
tripping on the
became-
balls. That's not even a sentence. Tripping balls.
You became the house mom.
House cat.
You were the mom of the home. We were a bunch of like immature,
I did
degenerate
cook all of you
children.
dinner.
You'd be like
Clean.
cooking, and you brought like a nice kind of feminine touch to that. And I remember like I'd have chicks over, and you'd just be so like I feel like you could walk into a room, and I have like 4 people here that you don't know, and you're like, hi, oh my god, like, oh, nice to meet you.
I'm fucking one of them
whatever.
at the end of the conversation.
Yeah, yeah, but I do
Yeah.
remember that though. It's like, because living in that situation, let's say like Andrew had a girl over, or even it's like my girl, and then
Yeah.
now like you're there, so or another
Ooh,
girl.
that hot
girls
Asian
are,
you had
girls are just
over?
kind of like, hey, girls are just kind of like, hey, like, oh hi.
No, I will crack that
whatever.
code because I just want to be. And that's the thing. Like I always joke about
That
sexuality.
hot Asian you had over.
Yo, she was fucking smoke show.
I'm trying to. Do you remember what she was wearing, or where did we talk?
Yes, we were
where'd
on
you
the front
meet her?
porch. You were sipping on some seltzers. She had a couple tattoos. I was like trying to.
Her.
Oh, maybe
yes.
you guys. She was sweet as a fucking button.
I remember you talking to her for a while. Yeah, that was nice.
I've seen a couple. I've seen a couple that I like.
Yeah,
Hats
yeah.
to you.
I've had
That I
some-
was not. Yeah, and I think that's, it goes back to, I dated your roommate, and goes back to my healing and my sexuality. I'm very much open. It's funny because I do have preferences. When I'm with girls, I like girly girls. I don't want a butch. When I'm with guys, I like manly men, which is weird. So sometimes
I think to me that makes like the most sense, because it's like you consider yourself like poly or whatever, right? But
I can be monogamous. I'm also open to that. So if I meet one partner and they enamor me, and this has happened, I mean, I don't want to say it's probably going to wear off, but it's probably going to wear off.
I think also because you're so into all this like divine feminine, divine masculine and stuff, then you're not even seeing Steve or Sandra. You're seeing like the feminine energy there. So if it's a girl, you like want that divine feminine in her. And yes, some people, wrong bodies maybe, different like stuff like that. But for the most part, a lot of women that end up skewing way more masculine, and a lot of men that end up skewing way more feminine, it's actually that like there's something up.
Yeah, we'll save that
It's
for a
not
spiritual
great.
podcast when we talk about like possession, not even possession, or like I call them hitchhikers. People, that's what I talk to my clients about. I use like word hitchhikers because we're all picking
Okay, we
stuff
can't
up.
brush past this now.
Okay,
I
sorry.
mean, we can't just
so
ignore
when
this.
you're on a journey of enlightenment, or you do psychedelics, or you're just confused by your sexuality, there's so many ways, because like I said, we are swirling through the cosmos at whatever. We are magnets and we are sponges, right? So we pick up parasitic and symbiotic things. Like, think of the lint trap. You have to clean it out when you do laundry. How often, if you don't know you had a lint trap, your pineal gland or your chakras, right? How often are you going to clean that lint trap? Or same with the filter in a car. It's just going to break down. You're never going to know it even was there, because it's we're not told about it in school. We're not told about it anywhere, actually. Well, now the internet's beautiful. But like I'm saying, in general. So how can we do these things to, like tapping? Do you know what tapping is?
Yeah.
EFT tapping. So I do tapping.
Yeah.
They use
somatic trauma.
Yes,
stuff.
they use the
Yeah.
EFT, like the acupuncture points, the meridians, and you do like affirmations mixed with tapping, but mixed with Reiki, and you can pull out energies, right? Because and then take it to a next level. If you're someone who does I don't like the word witch. I do rituals. I love exploring plants, medicine, songs, dances, crystals. I don't feel comfortable putting a name on it because it could be Indian, it could be voodoo, it could be
it's like all the stigmas.
some
that come with the
Illuminati,
names. Yeah.
whatever you want to call it. I'm just exploring
Yeah.
in love and light. So I'm always specific to say that. I don't
Yeah.
remember what I was saying because I lost my thoughts. Oh yeah, the hitchhikers. You can. Oh yeah, so they can possess you. Okay, so right, for instance, me in general, I had some trauma, right? So I was sexually assaulted as a youth. It made me think I didn't want to have sex. I remained a virgin until like almost college. I was gonna like join the military and like this whole thing, but then I was like gonna be gay, right? I had all these like different ideas, and instead of just being like, I went and took some beautiful healing classes to where it's not victim or survivor. It's just like a participant. It's just like life that could have happened walking by somewhere. It could have happened instead of like you just remove yourself, right? And it's like, okay, this happened. Now what's happening? I'm not gonna let it ruin sex. I did. I'm not gonna make it. You know what I mean? So it's all about kind of. But you have to learn how to cut those cords. If not, you're going to be getting fake dicks and doing all these crazy things. And there's no shame to people who've gotten fake dicks if you're listening. I'm just saying, if you don't learn, because I found myself acting out crazy. I wanted to get my tits cut off.
Wow.
When this was back when I was with.
Yeah. So you're just like spiraling, going through a bunch of shit.
Yeah.
And then you were like, maybe I'm a boy and that kind of thing.
Well, I was like, I thought maybe I was calling myself a Pikachu last summer because even now I'm still growing. I think that's the beauty of evolution and change. I'm still not attached. I know I can say now, thank me. I know I'm a woman, right? I love my pussy. I love my, my kitty, whatever you want to
love
go.
these fucking
I love
tits.
these tits.
I love these
For my age, oh my God, they're beautiful. But yeah, I love that. I also love wearing a strap on, but I also love So what I mean, it's okay to
Yeah.
love all of it. Instead of I used to say I love this. Oh, I used to say I hate this about me, or I wish I had this. And I think once again that's where the speech comes in. How about if I want a dick tomorrow, I go buy the nicest dick I can find.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
then instead of being like, oh, maybe I was supposed to have a dick. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, what I think is cool about this is even when you're talking about, okay, 3 months ago, you were like reconfirmed at the church, born again,
Oh my God, I started
virgin.
saying that and I stopped. Yeah, I went to this church. I had a deliverance done. They took me in this back room. So I might have been with, we were with a mutual friend at first.
Oh, okay,
I
okay.
took this person to these churches and it was all, we were the only white people at this first one. It was like a Pentecostal, all black Baptist.
I've been to a Pentecostal
and I was
church.
like, fucking feeling it, yo. The spirit was flowing through me. I had
That's
my
why
djembe.
they speak in tongues.
I was speaking in tongues. I speak in tongues.
You're the one that.
Oh, yo, I was fucking,
I've seen it in person.
I was on the ground thrashing. So
Yeah.
then I had this brother. I went to another church and they were casting the spirit of Lilith out of me and of Jezebel. And I was screaming all of the, this shit was real.
This
I was
really
talking,
happened?
oh my gosh, I have
What?
Yes.
Wait, it's not on video.
I have my baptism video, but I have I have some pictures after. No, it was not video.
Do you feel
was
like
real. It was
after that you felt
So I call it a deliverance.
Yeah.
Which is deliver, we all delivered. I feel like I delivered parts of myself that were untrue. So this is where it goes back to loving the shadow self. So the person who did it, I was feeling a lot of shame around this time. Once again, I was because I'm constantly dealing with guilt and shame for my sexuality and my sexuality and spirituality. They're very symbiotic, you know what I mean? And there's a lot of there's just a lot of shame and stuff I'm dealing with.
Yeah.
So my parents, they just disowned me again yesterday. So that's a whole other thing. But I was looking for some sort of forgiveness from someone else or from someone else to pardon me for my sins. When my God's in me, she's pardoned me. They've pardoned me. But I was feeling shame for things I did, and so I allowed myself to. And I went home after this and I burnt, I went with this guy from this church and a whole crew of Pentecostal. Dude, it was the craziest looking fucking people. This one dude, he was hot. His name was Clayton. I got to show him to you. I can't call him hot. He's a fucking... I was trying to hit on the monk at the temple the other day, too.
Oh, my.
I found out Hare Krishnas are celibate. I was like, are you sure?
Oh.
He was sure. But anyways.
He was sure. He was sure.
I threw away my tarot cards. I burnt them. I had just written I wrote a 400-page book. This is so, I can't believe I did this. I'm such a space cadet. I'm about to start crying. No, not on camera.
Don't cry.
I
You can
threw
cry.
it away.
Aw.
Right? It was 400 pages on tarot because I'm so obsessed and I love these oracles. Because I walked into this church looking for a way out of like my own head. And these people were great. I don't think they were trying to sabotage or like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? I think it was done in love. It was,
Yeah.
but that's what in the shows, like the exorcisms, all that shit's real. Because all of it's real to me. I play with spirits all the time. So, but what they did is I casted out things that I do that I'm confident about, but then I started feeling bad about. I like doing the things I do. But they're like, oh my God, that's dangerous. You're going to get possessed, or how do you know it's not, you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
So now.
Yeah, I think the guilt and the shame thing too, that's extremely relevant to everybody. And you are right, like definitely with sexuality and all that, but a lot of guys also will get it based on but like the one that's coming to mind that I've definitely dealt with over the years is like I've undergone so much shame and guilt around like basically not wanting to like commit, you know?
Yeah.
I've just had like deep connections where I'm loving the connection. I love this person's soul, all of this, but I'm just like, at least not now. I do see a future of me being monogamous.
Yeah.
Like, I do actually see that in the future.
Same
being a
for me,
husband,
actually.
like
Well,
having some fucking kids.
Yeah.
I see that, but I haven't been ready for that.
And how old are you again?
then 30.
Okay, yeah.
I just haven't been ready for it, even though I do see it. So then I've been in these situations, and it's so hard sometimes because then you question yourself because you're like, well, fuck, this girl is awesome. She's amazing.
Yeah.
And if I was ready for that, this would be it. Why would I not? And then you get shamed by her. Now you feel guilt. You're shaming yourself. Like even little shit from maybe family or friends.
Oh yeah,
or
because they're like, when are you gonna grow, or when are you? Oh, trust me.
Yeah.
And I think I think this is such a beautiful therapy session today because as you're talking, I'm like, Yeah, so you say that, and I say I'm Polly Pikachu right now, but I haven't always been so. And I'm still, this is all like within the past, like I said, 2 months, I've decided to embrace this side of me. A year ago, I was working at a recovery center as a counselor with short blonde hair, certainly did not have face tattoos or fucking dreadlocks or wasn't, you know what I mean? I was wearing a mask, which I'm fine with, because we all have different masks, but I've been engaged 4 times. I've been in a 7-year, I've been in all these commitments because I always, once again, I was going with societies, which I can be, or maybe even not even society, but what I have several people that live in my mind that tell me to be different things. Be a wife, be a stripper, be a whatever. So I think I was clinging to, trying to love people. They were perfect, but I'm still not at the point. And I challenge anybody to say this, and not in a bad way, because challenges aren't meant to be condescending. It's meant to be positive. But people are so sensitive. They're like, how dare? It's like, do you really, really love yourself? And I'm talking not, do you masturbate? I'm talking, do you giggle by yourself? Do you play with yourself and not play with yourself? Like play with yourself, but really play with yourself. I'm talking get down for, and not, it keeps making it sound so sexual, because it is sexual, but it's not, it's playful, right? I play tug of war with my dog with my mouth. I will take 3 hours to foreplay myself before, and I'll give myself beautiful Reiki sessions, and I can give myself goosebumps. I can, and I'm not saying this like once again, but I'm saying like I became my best friend this year during Corona. When I ended my relationship with our shared friend, I ended up in the psych ward last year. And I didn't think I was going to talk about that right here, but I did. And I lost my shit. And I think it's so beautiful because people are too afraid to lose their shit. So instead they'll take these pharmaceuticals every day, right? Yes. Or they'll stay in a marriage, right? Yeah. Or they'll cheat on their partner. Or they won't do their kink and they'll end up snapping and Jeffrey Dahmering somebody because they held it all in.
I want to write that down because I don't want to forget it. People are too afraid to lose their shit. Yeah. I've lost my shit, and I always come out way stronger and better.
I fucking lost it.
And don't you always just end up being great? At some point, you'll end up being grateful.
I thought so. At that point last year, it was April 7th last year, so I just hit 1 year. Woo woo. And I thought at that point last year, I was desperate for someone to love me for someone I wasn't. So I wasn't even being, literally there was maybe 0.5% of myself that was being true to the things that were yearning to be acknowledged in my heart. Just I had all these urges, and they start to turn on you if you don't listen to them. That's when you hear like that the term primal urge or animalistic. Like say I want to bite you right now, which oh my god, like
don't do it.
Sorry, that sounded like please. I really like biting people. Oh my god, I fucked this Tinder dude's neck up the other day.
Oh my
god, it looked like he came from a broken home, but
Jesus.
But say I like keep that in, right? Or like I'm maybe with a partner who's not, or something. I'm going to end up feeling bad about it or wrong, or maybe worst case scenario, I'm not making any threats to anybody. I do get some weird drug, or maybe I get prescribed an antidepressant. We won't even say street drugs. I go to counseling, and I'm with my husband for 20 years and he's not fucking me the way I want because I'm so miserable and dead. And I finally lash out and I bite him, but I bite him so hard I bite his jugular. Now this sounds outlandish, but
no, great example,
these are the things of like, people snap. I don't watch those shows. My mom watches those fucking murder shit.
Oh, I don't watch anything like that.
My mom watches them, but it shows the million ways which our psyche just turns on us. How about instead of how it turns on us, how about how it turns into us? And it finally just, we remember who that little child is. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Like our eye contact is getting closer and closer.
You're moving. Yeah, I feel like you're going to bite me any second now. I feel like I'm about to get bit. Oh my God. You start sniffing. And then
I do like, I have that noise on the camera. I have to
explain to them, she's so fluid, she will turn into a cat, actually.
Hold on, you can hear the noise. I have to actually.
No, stop sniffing into the mic.
Hold on.
Oh my God, no more.
Yo, listen,
you're really ridiculous. I love it.
If you're really in a hot like sex town or sex town, what?
Them sex towns. New York City, that's one of them sex towns.
Vegas. Oh, I've always wanted to go to the Bunny Ranch.
Me too. When I was a kid, that shit would come on late at night at HBO.
The Cat House. Is it weird that I watched that with my dad? Okay.
It's whatever. It wasn't that like, graphic. It wasn't porn. It wasn't porn.
No, it was. It was people fucking. Yo, do you not remember the Moonlight Ranch? Watch an episode of that. The Cat House. No, it's full on. fucking penetration.
In
way,
the show?
Way
Oh.
way dirtier than any. Sorry, I'm like so excited about it. I'm,
Yeah.
like, I'm gonna go home and masturbate to it right after this. Actually,
I feel okay.
Dennis
Wait.
owns it. Dennis Hopper.
What's going on, man? I know that you're enjoying this episode of the Evolution Daily podcast. I would like to personally invite you into the Evolution Daily Secret Mastermind. Now, this is my inner circle. This is our tribe. This is our squad. What you get when you sign up for the Evolution Daily Mastermind today is you get access to our weekly group coaching call. I am present on all of these calls. You get your questions answered. I give a sermon. Other guys on this call are dishing out amazing advice. And what we've created here is a community that so many men need. You right now, you're into game. You want to start a business. You want to get jacked, but you're not surrounded by people that are helping you along that journey. Come get help on that journey. We have the most active and incredible secret Facebook group on the entire internet. There are guys in this group. The guys that have flocked to the mastermind are guys that are out taking action. They're winning at life. They post exclusive content. I post exclusive content daily. There is so much for you here in the secret mastermind. Click down below and you'll be able to find out more details and you can sign up. We offer a monthly program and then we offer a one-time lifetime membership to the mastermind. Okay, so before this though, there was something that you had said that I thought was like really good, and I was gonna like touch on.
Was it about this shit? You have to lose your shit.
Oh, well, I was gonna say that I think that when you're talking about people snapping and shit, right? I think, and then you're talking about before relationships, like loving yourself and all that kind of stuff. I've said this for a long time, and I'm very like careful when I talk about this kind of advice, but it's a thought that I have. So over the years, as like a full-time coach and doing all this shit, I meet so many guys that they're young and they're on their shit though. They're reading Tony Robbins. They come to like,
Dude, I fucking love Tony Robbins.
yeah, like they're on their shit. They're starting like this e-commerce business. They're like 17, 18. And there's like this part of me that I'm like, I feel like I'm where I'm at. I'm like even mentally and everything. Like I feel like I've had a lot of growth over the years.
Dude.
But I feel like so much of that is because I was such a fuck for so long. Like doing drugs, getting pulled over drunk, like being crazy. So I never would prescribe that advice onto somebody. I would prescribe like a healthier risk taking and action to somebody. So you're a kid, you're 18, 19, you're about to go into college or whatever. Dude, like beg your fucking family for money to like go to Colombia. Lie and say it's because you want to see this famous.
No. Time out. We're not going to lie because that's the wrong energy.
No, you can lie to your parents, your conservative family, and be like, it's because I love this artist and I want to see his temple. And go down and like fuck a bunch of Colombian girls.
Or
and
find
like,
a temple that has people you can fuck in it. Then you're not lying to your parents.
But you can't. Okay, true.
Come on.
Listen, some of
Live
these
in
people.
truth. And that way the orgasm, that's the way the karma loop comes back.
Okay,
and it's
okay.
Positivity, it's honesty. So, and that's something we talked about, the shame, right? If you can't, sorry, I'm not trying to interrupt you, but I just think it's beautiful. We're taught to little white lies and I'm guilty of it myself. I find myself lying about my age. I'll fake an accent just to get some.
Oh my fuck.
It's very interesting actually. Or like, you know what I mean? Like, because we have to lie, but we. Tell your parents that you're going to see an artist and figure out a way to make your energy match what you're saying, right? I'm going to a temple where there's this great artist. I bet there's some fucking freaky shit.
Or you go and you do go to the temple, but you also fuck a bunch of bitches.
And there's all those ayahuasca ceremonies down there.
True. That's more so in Peru,
say you're
but I
going
think you
to
can do it
explore
there.
your spirituality. There you go, Mom.
Yeah.
I love
there you
God
go.
so much. I'm going to go down in these mountains and get saved.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
See, boom, we're not lying.
For sure. Right.
And what saved me?
And then if that was a 4-day thing, but you stayed for 8, then the other days can be crazy.
And you could say you got to know the locals. You met some nice girls. And you couldn't believe how different they were than the girls you met. And they were so appreciative of everything her son had to offer. And thank you for teaching me such a good gentleman, Mommy. You know what I mean? So that way, mommy and daddy will send you back to do your mission work in Colombia whenever you want, because you're serving the Lord. And you really are, because you're out there maybe, And I'm being serious with this. So maybe 2 days of your mission work, you really are out there building houses and helping these women. Yeah. And then those houses that you help build, come here, girl.
Yeah, now you're fucking.
I just built you a fucking bed. You ever had one of those? No? Okay, come here. You know what I mean?
Yes, for sure.
So
yes. There's ways.
Yeah.
There's ways.
Oh my God. Healing in the, yeah.
Yeah,
healing
definitely.
these hoes. No, they're not hoes. Yeah.
Healing these hoes.
Healing in the hood, I think, would be people would get offended by it.
That could be like a weird porn kind of movie.
Yeah.
That'd be healing in the
like
hood.
Boys in the Hood.
Because there's no porn that happens in the hood.
It's like all these dope boys, and I come up like, you ever had chakra? Or you ever had Reiki? And they're like, I was watching this black guy do his tarot read. He's like, I'm about to do a tarot read. And he pulled like a 7 horse. He goes, this card right here means this dude's about to fuck you up, and he's got 7-6 and he's on a horse. He was like reading them for what they were. It was really funny.
Yeah, we should start that. I think that would be good. But yeah, I think you just gotta live. You gotta live a lot of life, and then even what we're talking about being afraid to like lose your shit and fuck up and all of that. That really is where the greatest lessons are. Yeah. You know, that's where the greatest lessons are, and I think that we are living in a society where you look at what is sold in society. Mm-hmm. Things that are sold, they hold value, right? This I paid money for this glass because it holds my water. Yeah. I can't hold my water myself. Not enough of it. So then what is also sold that has so much value is like everybody in life, no matter what, even I'm sure back in like primal times, 200,000 years ago, like you got anxiety. Yeah. You fucking got depressed. Yeah. You like were upset and sad. And that's a bad feeling. So what holds the most value? Anything to take away that feeling. Right. Drugs, TV shows, dopey TV shows.
Dopamine.
Like, watch them fucking like that.
That's why it's called dope. Did you know that? Dopey dopamine.
Because that makes sense, yeah.
Yeah. Because then that goes back to my fascination with psychology and stuff because I always want to know what was wrong with me. How can I change it? And this is the simplest. I think we're both can agree on this, working out. There's so many natural ways we can get these highs. And yes, getting a really, especially if you have confidence issues, getting some super hot sex or not even the sex, because sex to me, I'm so far in my game. Sex is like, and I can get anybody to fuck me. I'm fucking do sex magic. I'm a wizard. What I want to do is have a genuine connection, and not because I manipulated you or deceived you. I'm like more excited about oh my God, I got out of my car and prayed with this guy and gave him $10 on the way here and like held up traffic and was like getting honked at. But like I walked over and like the gleam in this sweet little man's eye, and like he at first he like wouldn't look up at me and like cars were honking. I didn't care. Like I was talking to him for a second and like genuine human connection without expectation, right? Of course I'd love the snuggles and all that, but it's like we're just meant to interact on a such more profound level, right? Even this eye contact we're having right now is so beautiful. And we'll switch from joking and being like our more television selves to having these moments where you lock in and it's like, when's the last time you stared at someone for 5 minutes without talking? So this is something I do with my clients. Yeah. Here, ready? Let's drop the mic. Okay. You just have to I'm
not going to do it.
So what we would do is we would, without laughing or showing expression.
Like truly
we'd
like
drop face. I call it like,
yeah.
And we'd take a second to get the giggles out. And we'd hold our hands up and we wouldn't touch. So about 4 inches is how to get the chakra field going. And then we'd just, and we'd sit open in lotus. So this is like one of the exercises I do to like, and we'd just stare. And after, you'd be amazed because after about 5 minutes, you're not on acid, you're not on shrooms, but something starts to happen. I'll just leave it there. I want you to try it.
I could see it.
Something
I
starts to happen. Yeah. It's called soul gazing. And that's just like one of the millions of things that I tell people I'll make them a believer. It's like,
yeah, I've had never 5 minutes of that, but like I've definitely had like girls where we're so in love that we've like been laying in bed.
I've done it for like 5 hours.
And just like, have you really?
Oh yeah.
I believe that. Yeah.
I've done it for like had full days of silence because like you would never think with how much I talk, but like it's been really interesting to explore this.
Let's stick on this connection thing for a second because this is something that I've enjoyed sharing with the audience, and I'll share with you as well because you and I have not really had a conversation a year, maybe like
since that last on the porch. Is that?
I don't even know. How long ago was that?
Oh, I'm going back to the conversation. I love that one. That was my favorite.
What was I? Oh, that was with that one girl.
I remember the whole story. I'm not going to share your business, but I remember everything.
Yes. Yeah.
I came over and did a session on you on the porch, and that was before I had like my table or anything, and I was kind of just getting back into the idea of it.
I'm definitely at a place now where I think like when you're younger, and so many men watching this right now, either when they were younger or even now as they're older, they've never had like the sex that they want, right? They just haven't. They've seen porn, they see hot girls, they know that like even outside of porn, people are out here having great sex, they hear about it, they've never had it. So then you gear more towards like, I want crazy shit. I want to fuck this girl in the bathroom at LeBain. I want to have this crazy one night fucking stand. I'm fucking smacking her around. She's just coming like crazy. All that shit, right?
Preach.
And that is hot. That is amazing. But I found now that like as I've gotten older and wiser and maybe just more in tune and everything, I'll take sex with a girl that like I love this person, and that doesn't mean we're not verbally in love and verbally even like dating and all of that, but it's like I love who this person is, I love who you are, and now like the sex is going to be, it's gonna be. Here's the thing though. The word good can be very different. This ice cream is really good. This rigatoni is really good. Those are totally different goods, right? Sometimes you're going to want fucking rigatoni. You don't want ice cream when you're starving. So there's going to be different types of good. You can have like hot fucking like porn star, just met this girl sex. But I do now definitely value a chick that even if we're not going to date, I'm like a little invested in you. You're a little invested in me. We've had a few dinners.
Maybe she comes over and cooks you or like, and I think that's the beauty of like, I always said like earlier, I'm not a feminist because, or I'm whatever. I think there's too much gender when it comes to play with these things. Or also like, so like for me, I like a man who's, once again, I love a man who's going to pick me up and whatever. But then also how you're talking about the flip side, someone who will lay his head, allow him to feel safe enough with me and the connection that we've established to where, I can choke on you and whatever, you can do that. But then maybe after, I call it nesting. And this is like a practice I talk to with my clients. It's learning how to hold this eye contact, because even eye contact with anybody can be nervous. And we don't, people think because they say like, oh, I love you, it means we're in love. No, this is just like a divine love, and like we're sharing sacred space and holding it for each other. So tell me what you like. Tell me, and people are so afraid to offend each other. Like maybe I'll be sucking a dude's dick and like he won't, maybe there's different ways, right? Tell me. And, or not even just a dick. What do you like to eat? People are just so afraid of, I want this person to like me.
We had a whole conversation. I do like a weekly call for the mastermind, evolutiondailymastermind.com. And we did the whole call last night, and we were talking about how it does fall on you as the dude. Because like as a female, well, it should be both. Men and women should aim to please each other during sex, right?
Absolutely.
And I know women deal with this way more than dudes do, where like dudes just are fucking wanting to come, and then like girls don't usually end up getting like a lot of what they want.
I don't agree with that as a woman. I feel like the pressure's on the guy because there's so much fucking bitchy girls that are just so ungrateful when the vagina is a confusing place. Guys, maybe if they were taught about seed retention, which is another thing I like to work with my clients on. Yeah. It's hard not to bust a nut. I can't pretend to know because I can bust a nut and just keep.
But here's the thing though too, is it's like it does come down, I think, for a lot of men. I think like bad quick sex will come down to like discomfort in your own sexuality. Yes. I mean, I can point to like girls when I was younger where I had sex and I came and all of that. But really looking back, it was terrible. Yeah. I'm just shaky and scared. I don't like my body. I'm just kind of like, let's get this over with. Now I get to tell my friends, like, I fucked Kelly, like, whatever. But as you get older, not older, more sexually experienced, like just the more girls you fuck, the more like you have different types of sex and stuff, the more now, I literally want to be like doing everything but coming for like 3 hours and then bust like the craziest nut. I want to be eating your pussy for like a fucking hour. I want you sucking on my dick. I stop you just before I come, and now we're making out again. Like I want fucking stop. No, there's no sexual stuff.
joking.
Back the fuck up. No, but
Here, let me put up a boundary.
but so there's actually it is COVID. We should have a plastic barrier here. There's podcasts now where they're like meeting in person,
Yeah, I've
but they
seen-
have a big plastic sheet
They
up.
do it at
and I'm like,
daycares.
kill yourselves, die. No, I'm
Yeah.
kidding.
No.
Wait. I want to go. I want to like hang on.
Keep going with the sex thing. You want to fuck? You want to please for 3 hours?
Yes, I was talking about. There was something really good though, about like aiming. Okay, so like aiming to please, quick bad sex, being comfortable with your sexuality. What were we talking about right before? Was some of the shit you were just saying?
I know I'm too focused. I'm helping you remember what you
We're talking about connection, really liking somebody, and
Just
then
not being afraid to. I don't know.
So I was talking about guys that like you kind of do
You
get.
just do quick sex. It just feels robot. So I've had sex like that too. I'm spitting on my hand. I should never be. Well, actually, that's hot. But I should never be like, ow, this hurts. And I've had sex
You're
several
saying
times.
you should be like so wet.
I've
by the
had time. Yeah,
you-
I've had several. I mean, I can't even count how many sex experiences where I will go back to like a guy where I maybe felt I wanted to please the guy, so I had fake orgasms. So I was too afraid to be like, I don't even like this. I'm not even wet. It literally hurts.
Oh.
I'm biting a pillow because the
Here's-
sex is so bad.
Okay, here's the thing. I don't want to move too far past because I want to remember this. Is like, yeah, to me, I do believe, and I don't even have a problem with this. Like, I do believe that men, there needs to be more responsibility on men in a lot of ways. Okay. In my opinion, with everything that like I've experienced or what I've read and what I believe is that like it is on the responsibility of men to be leaders in so many ways.
Oh, okay.
And I was on a date the other night. This is easy. I gotta show you this fucking
Actually,
girl.
I'm kind of turned on right now just by the way we're talking because I'm so used to bitch ass beta dudes. It's good. Maybe I'm making excuses for all the bitches I've dated because I'm so used to being an alpha that I haven't had.
Look at this fucking.
Huh!
Wait, no. The next picture is gonna blow your mind. Wait till you see what she's wearing. You ready?
Nothing. God bless.
I was like, did I just meet my? And this is
Wait,
something.
that's her hat.
Yeah, that's not me. I didn't take this photo. This was on
my-
her fucking Bumble. That fucking Make America Great Again.
Amen. And so, sorry.
But this is what's funny too. So a couple things here. One, this girl, she was so hot and wearing that hat that I actually tried to find her Instagram before I swiped on her because
I've done that.
Well, I've done it. I fucking had a date with a few dates with this fucking bad bitch who I saw her in Bumble. She had her Instagram on there, and I was like, "Fuck it, let me slide in these DMs." And we met on several dates.
I think it's more. Oh my God, I'll do that.
So I couldn't find her Instagram, and I was pissed about it. But I was like, "Fuck it, let me hit her with that right swipe anyway." And then boom, we match everything. We ended up hanging out the other night. Just my fucking soulmate, honestly, probably.
Yo,
but hang on. I gotta say this because this is important for the men to hear.
Yes.
I do believe it is on us to be leaders in our families, in our relationships, and in the bedroom. We had a great conversation on the mastermind the other night about what do you do when like a girl is like just not sucking your dick right now, whatever. And I was like, you teach her how to. We want to please each other. If a girl is hating sex, I would love to be told, please tell me that like, oh, it doesn't do it for you from this angle. Oh, I usually really just come from like clit stuff. So this is good, but like, will you eat me out? I want to be told. And so as men, you kind of just have to assume that everyone wants open communication. And when you lead by that example and then tell a girl like, hey, you could even lead it by being like, baby, like what could I do that would fucking make you come the hardest, that kind of stuff. Now maybe if she's not sucking your dick right and you do teach her, she's not gonna get offended. You don't want to offend,
right?
You know?
Oh my God, instantly. As soon as you said that, I'm like aroused. I'm a believer because as soon as you said that, I realized so much of this stuff. Maybe, so like I said, I like to think I'm alpha, but I'm not. I'm actually a submissive in the bedroom. But when I'm so used to being like, I'm such a, and that's why I was saying, no, I'm a co-pilot. I just need them, like how you just told me to shush. I was like,
oh my
because
God.
I'm so used to people,
Yeah.
and that's like me, my personality, but my sex. And also, I really want a guy who can do that. But I'm so overpowering, and I love women too. So I'm very intriguing for men, but also I can be. I don't even want to use the word threatening, overwhelming.
You are like. Okay, it's like there's a Ferrari and it's like driving on a track, really well, right? And then it's like you take that same Ferrari, you put it in a parking lot, and you just throw a cinder block on the gas pedal, and now it's like spinning out of control and like flying around. You're that Ferrari. You're out of control.
I want to be in control,
I mean,
and that's what I'm
you
learning.
are just like, you're
and I
like
think if
all
I
over the place.
found a proper
you need
daddy,
somebody
I need
that
daddy.
will like keep you in line.
Are
like,
you out there, daddy? No.
keep you the fuck in check. That's what you need.
Like a leash?
And I think, yeah, like that kind of shit, whatever. But like, I think that is Alpha Chad Hunter. He had this great analogy one day, where he explained, he was like, it's like your, you know, in cartoons, they would show like where a mouse lives and it'd be like a little like slot in the wall, like a little hole. It's like that. And women are like these little like wind up robots, like bopping around. But that's the nature of feminine energy.
Yeah.
Is like feminine energy doesn't want to have to like lead and be in power and all of that. Even if you do love like your art and your passions and all that, but it's like you do want, you need to now be the masculine energy guiding the robot into that.
Good at this because I've never had a guy fucking read me. Oh my God, I'm fired up. I've never had someone read me appropriately, and I've been to a million. Wow, Aaron. Because I always say I'm a co-pilot. I want to be controlled, but I want to think that I'm in control. So once again, that's a whole nother kink.
Oh,
right?
I had a girl say the fucking craziest shit ever
What?
to me. This was like probably 2 months ago. This girl who she was really into like BDSM, right? Like she just loved, like I'm like fucking tying her up and shit. And she said to me, and actually she knows about the podcast and shit. Like she might end up hearing this. She said something so profound. It was wise. And she's young. So I was like, whoa, she's very young. No, I'm kidding.
How young?
No, she's like 20.
Oh my God. Fuck.
So no.
right.
But she said to me, she was like, she's like, and she is an alpha kind of bitch, actually. She's like in law school and she's like a bad bitch. So you could see her running, like going to a CEO fucking room and like running shit. But she was like, the most dominant thing about me is that I'm submissive. And she goes, because I need to be so in control of the situation that I want you to believe you're in control when really I'm getting everything I want. Something like that.
Oh my God.
She's like, I'm so in control that I'll be submissive. And she explained it really well. I was like, whoa, that's deep. That's like that's 4D chess.
Oh my God.
Okay, bro. So right now you're at a spot in life where you need direction. You need guidance. You need coaching. I would like to tell you right now that I just reopened my 5-week mentorship program. Oftentimes, I will close it for long periods of time because I get so many students on there that it's not really scalable for me to keep it open. But right now, if you're listening to this, then the 5-week Evolution Daily one-on-one mentorship with me is available. We're going to be attacking all areas of your life. We're going to be helping you to get into great shape, how to go out and meet women. I'm going to be holding you accountable, making you do approaches every single week. We're going to have you facing your fears, breaking down traumas, going from a guy that is currently stuck and doesn't know where to go to now being on an incredible direction forward and upward. Again, this is a 5-week mentorship one-on-one with me. You're going to be doing 5 one-hour calls with me, and we're going to be skyrocketing your life to the next level. This is all available over at evolutiondaily.com. You can go ahead and just click the link down below, and you will be able to access the mentorship. Sign up soon because this is going to close again very, very soon. I look forward to working with you on the mentorship.
And that's what I need, not help with. So I'm like freshly, I guess you would call it, so I say I'm poly, but I'm capable of being monogamous. I'm just exploring what I like because I don't know if I want boys, girls, whatever, but I recently had a Tinder experience. I'm sure I might send the link because it's an interesting vibe. Could not be night. I mean, he is night and day. And I started saying about a lot of stuff, sending him maybe pictures of books I'm reading. Oh, I'm curious, but it's like, how do you not scare someone? So this is advice. I'm asking for advice. How do I not scare someone? Because I was like, I bit him and I left oh man, I'm so sorry. I fucked him up. Like I saw him 3 days later and it went from like little hickeys to I left my phone in his car till it looked like someone hurt him. And I'm the one who, I like to bite, but I'd rather if he would have just, you know what I mean, maybe bit me back. Yeah. And it's playful, but how do you encourage that without looking like...
So this was probably the first time you guys had sex? First or second?
I don't okay, well...
First 3 times or so?
The
you
first
just met
night
him on Tinder.
Well, we had sex 7 times the first night.
Well, that doesn't count. So like,
Okay,
say it's
then
one
5.
night. It's like one night.
So this was the third night we had been banging.
I am a firm believer. I'm a firm believer. This is the advice I would give people in general, like men, and then maybe to you as well. I believe, and this term gets such a bad rap, so maybe I should use a different term. Oh, there was another thing. We fucking blew past it a little bit ago, but I want to talk about it so bad. Aftercare. Remind me the word aftercare. So, I'm a firm believer that the first time you fuck somebody, I don't want to say vanilla because that has such a bad context, but more traditional. So it can still be hard. There can be like he's choking you a little bit. It can be like hard fucking, but let's not bust out the ball gag. Let's not bust out the fucking ties and the blindfolds. Because I feel like I've done that and had some girls like still come back or whatever.
This goes back to the connection piece.
But there's been, like for a girl, especially just like in this situation with like a girl being submissive, a big part of that is trusting like the guy. So now the first
time, I'm trying to rush
time
my kinks.
You're rushing your kinks.
I'm rushing because I don't even remember the.
Also
I don't remember
for you, it's like
the first time.
Also for you, you're such like a deep well that I feel like you probably end up on dates with people and you go too deep down the well.
I'm a nervous talker and an overshare.
And there's a difference between being authentic and then not just putting it all out there.
Yeah, that's something I'm learning.
It's like kink the hose just a little, like turn the spout just a little bit to where it's still truth coming out, but it doesn't have to be everything. It doesn't have to be like everything. And I feel like you would get on a date
I'm gonna maybe need to sign up for some of your classes to like kink this kink.
Yeah, I think so.
Dad.
I think that you probably overshare massively.
Yeah, absolutely. And I get too masculine, and I'm so alpha when I'm cooking and I'm sucking your dick and I'm rubbing your back, and I don't leave space for the man it's because I'm
to be a man.
And I get so ooh, this is getting too real. I'm not even insecure. I'm so people pleaser. Perhaps maybe that's why I haven't found daddy.
Maybe you're taking on way too much of the masculine role, and you need to be, as the girls are saying these days, you need to be baby.
Armpits.
No, you need to be baby. Girls say that a lot lately. I'm baby. I see girls saying that. But maybe you need to be like, and not be that, not fake what you are.
No, I understand, like,
but you already have it in you. You have these versions of you. We all have these versions of us, and they're all authentic. But now it's like sometimes let me like really allow this part of me to express itself more.
Yeah.
Right? And then I really want to share, because I think you'll find this interesting. Aftercare, exactly.
Oh my God.
So I think this is great advice to them, and then I think you'll find this interesting as well. I just got turned on to this term. Turned on. I knew you were going to make the joke.
This is the punniest podcast.
You were going to make the joke.
You did it first.
But yeah, I saw it in your eyes. I saw you're like, okay. I just got turned on to this fucking idea from this guy that is like really into polyamory and stuff. He's dating this bad bitch. I don't want to say their names. But and they're open and poly and all this stuff. They're great. They're great people. It won't last forever. Anyway, he talked about, and I never heard of this, the idea of aftercare. Do you know what that means?
In the polyamorous world?
Just in sex. It turns out it's really the sex.
I call it nesting, and
so I would say this. Let me say this real quick. I think nesting is a version of aftercare, but even just saying to a girl, either maybe not the first time you guys have sex, but maybe like if you guys are planning to see each other again or whatever, just having a conversation. How do you like to be treated like after we fuck? You know? Because there are.
Wow. Do you want to be cuddled? Do you just want to jump?
And then giving them the aftercare that they enjoy the most.
I love that.
I had a girl who I was seeing for a long time. I still love this girl to death, miss her. But like after we would fuck, like after she came, she would like tremor and like come even more by me like rubbing her body.
Yo, I want the dick still inside and little tiny movements. Yeah, I've had.
She didn't want that. She'd get so sensitive. Like I'd try to like stay in a little bit, and she'd want me to like come out of it. But then like just like rubbing her shoulders, her belly, like everything, she would just be like writhing around. So that was like her aftercare. Some girls don't want to be touched. Yeah. Some girls want to be held, and nothing sexual, but literally held like you're being loved. So even having that conversation is powerful. And it's the same with like, how do you want me to fuck you? How do you like this? How I want you to do this? And you have these talks, and before you know it, you guys have now you're having the best sex you ever could.
Yes.
Because it's been discussed.
And it's like you just said, like the connection piece, right? So like, I want to talk about, so like this, now I'm having all these thoughts about this Tinder date who, I was so nervous to meet him because I found him so physically attractive and like so different from me that I was like, he'll never like, you know what I mean? So I started having insecurity. So I'm like, whoa. And I got fucking high. And I'm not a huge drinker. I'm a weed smoker. I drank about 3 bottles of wine. And I don't, you said, how was the sex? Well, yeah, we fucked like, the only reason I know we fucked that many times is I woke up and smushed all these condoms. And I was like, well, I said, well, goddamn. And then I was joking when he's very open. He knows about, yeah, he's just cool with who I am. So I said to him the next day, I was like, damn. I said, could we retry that? I said, honestly, I said, was it okay? He goes, wait, you don't? And I was like, I'm not saying I wasn't there, but like, and I'm not embarrassed or upset, but I was like, damn, I just got so drunk, I'm sure. And that's when I bruised him. He was probably like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
And then the next time, we just met up for the 3rd time, and this is the first time I remember having sex with him. And actually, it was, now that I'm thinking about it, it's getting, you know what I mean?
Did he say anything? Was he mad about the bruising?
He said next time, he's said next time, let's keep it down there.
Yeah.
And that's the thing, I said next time and I think once again I came on too aggressive because I was like, next time, why don't you fucking punish me? Because I'm so, and to maybe someone I asked him, I said, if you were a kink or whatever, what would you be? He said vanilla. And I said, I'd be blue moon cookie dough. No one knows what the fuck it is. It's just,
my God,
and I said, what about sprinkles? He said, I could be vanilla sprinkles. I said, what about, and he said, you know what, I could be vanilla sprinkles in a cone. So I think he's open and curious.
Yeah.
So I need to be, and you know, it's just interesting because I was straight to like, oh, he'll never be able to choke me out. Well, maybe he's
I think too, here's the thing, okay, like, even if this guy's good looking, there's just people in this world where they're good looking, they have a sex drive or whatever, but they end up being 28, 30 years old, and they just really have not had that much sex. And so then, you know, they just haven't, like, or they were, because maybe they were with a girl for 5 years, and him and that girl, they loved their sex life, but it was more plain and whatever. So I think that if you come on too strong at the beginning with the kink shit,
especially with looking like
you're
this,
gonna make a man feel insecure, in my opinion.
Yeah.
You know? Whereas men, I don't think you have to worry about that, because we can all have the gray, 50 Shades of Grey, Anna, what's her name, Anastasia?
Yeah, Anastasia.
Yeah, Anastasia, like, where it's like little innocent, whatever, but like the man's job is to lead anyway, so men don't have to do this as much. But if you're this little fucking freak animal, and this guy's only ever really had pretty traditional sex, I think coming on too strong at the beginning with that.
Yeah, I think that's beautiful you said that, because I've been, you know, I'm never saying I'm seeking, I've always just been a seeker of everything, and finally accepting that, like, I used to think I was a switch or whatever. There's so many fucking labels when it comes to sexuality. Now I just know I'm an intense person, but when it comes...
Hey, I just had a fucking thought.
I liked your face. What happened? What?
Oh, did my face light up?
Yeah, I
just had
saw
a
it.
thought. Okay, so, because I was just thinking, like, whoa, I never go this deep into sex, really, on the podcast that much, but, like, just from fucking so much over the years, like, I know so much about sex, and I've always said, like, I want to do a course. Would one of these little fucking, like the girl you were showing me earlier, or like any of these girls kind of like in your circle, would one of them be down to just, and it can't be you, so don't even, it's not going to be you.
This is bullshit then.
Hard boundary. No, would one of them be down for like a fucking, to be in a sex course?
So it's called, I'm not going to, actually we're going to talk, I'm not going to say what it is, because there are things like this happening, and we will talk about this, and if we're gonna do a sex course, we're gonna do the
I'm
sex
getting
course.
somebody else. No. You can't.
Why?
Because I
I
want
wanna
to fuck
help
the
her.
girl in the sex course.
Yeah, you can.
I'm not fucking you.
No. I'm saying.
I could fuck your little
Couldn't
friend.
this be a course we could do?
Can I fuck that one you showed me on Instagram?
Listen, hold on. Slow down. We can. I'm not trying to make you fuck me. I'm saying, like, this is what I'm in school for, or not. It is school. It's very in school.
Yeah.
That's my next what I'm focused on now is like tantra and breathing and healing, and there's just different ways and techniques.
Listen. Let me explain something. This sex course, there'll be some of that, but there won't be actually.
Is it just like how to make her
It's going to be
come?
like a part 1, part 2 kind of thing. Not even part 1, part 2. There'll be like a couple maybe. I'm talking, like I want to fuck some girl. But listen.
How's it different from porn? You're vocalizing?
because first of all, porn, unless it's like amateur and shit, is very unrealistic in a lot of ways. But yes, you're really vocalizing, like explaining, like, hey, this is everything you've heard about eating pussy. No, like, listen, this is how you have to like. And I'm like talking to the camera. I'm eating this girl's pussy.
So it's
she's like fucking.
Two tantra people that are totally open, and she's like, this is.
But I'm not gonna bring in all of that. That's too heavy
Okay.
for people that I want this course to be for, which is literally the 24-year-old
Like how to
kid
change your oil.
who's fucked a couple times.
Oh, okay.
He doesn't know what
yeah.
he's doing. Bro,
Got you.
here's how to make them fall in love. Then, yes, that next shit of like the people that, the breathing.
Oh,
and the,
okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, we're talking like here's clitoris, here's how you stimulate clitoris.
Here's how you start fucking when you're about to come, but you want to keep going,
Oh
like
my
showing
God,
that
here's
kind
the,
of
Oh my
shit.
God, yeah, fuck. I'm here.
Showing proper. Guys hear it all the time. Oh, is this how you choke? Whatever. You watch on porn, and now like the girl's dying.
Well,
and
I'm
it's, like,
sure you
whatever.
shouldn't have a problem
So showing like decent chat. I know. But this is something that I just have so many things I'm working on all the time that I've put it on the back burner, but it doesn't need to be made.
I have friends who make content.
Yeah.
I'll leave it there.
Oh, you do.
Content, we're entrepreneurs here, so
Yeah.
we can have, but
Yeah. Well, some of these girls make just private content with me too.
I don't know. I'm not them.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and that's something that comes down to guilt and shame. I started doing cam girling in 2009 on Chatterbait.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care if she's my sister is not.
You're a
I won't
wild
say their
animal.
names. We did it together when it first started in like 2009, and we were the top girls in the country, in the world actually. And we did not. This goes back to, once again, we're ping-ponging all the way back. I didn't show nudity. One, because I didn't care. My sister, we stripped together too, but we were Chloe and Zoe, so it's cute, and we looked the same. But because, and it's not even innocence, but it is an innocence.
I'm going to blur that.
Morality.
I don't want them to be able to find you. I'm going to blur those names.
Okay, blur the names.
I'm going to write that down.
Actually, I don't think you can.
Is it maybe not even up anymore? I'm just going to blur the names anyway. I don't want
not?
them to be able to find
I
you.
might be going back.
No, you're not.
Wait,
we talked about this.
Can we link an OnlyFans if I get one?
Yeah, if you come back on the show and shit.
I haven't
down
started
the
one yet,
road,
so
yeah.
I'm still thinking if I want, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's why I think change. Do I want to? I don't know what I'm doing, so I'm just not. I'm just doing me.
And
so
here's what's great. Here's what's great about this. Okay, is I think we'll finish up on this.
Yeah.
Okay, the downfall of most fucking people is being stubborn, and
Yes.
you are probably one of the least stubborn people.
Thank you.
I need to. And you know who fails in business? People that are stubborn.
Or you know who fails in
Okay.
business? People who are so impulsive they can't grab onto anything. So let's.
So there's that, and then we had this great conversation on the mastermind call last night, where I was explaining to these guys, like, you can't be stubborn in business, you can't be stubborn in anything. I launch a program, like a fucking, I was telling the guy, I was like, on the call last night, I announced like a New York boot camp, whatever, okay, and then no one signed up for it. That's cool. At the same time, I announced an Austin boot camp. We filled it up like immediately. So now I'm not stubborn. The market didn't want a New York boot camp. It's still so shut down over there. I used to sell those out no problem. Now it's like whatever. So that's the market. So, and he was like, but don't you think that maybe looks bad on your reputation a little bit? Whatever. Like, oh, you couldn't fill that, kind of whatever. And I'm like, no. And maybe some little nerd is sitting in his office like, haha, Aaron had to cancel the New York thing.
Yeah.
Some little nerd. But you can't be stubborn in life. You can't be stubborn in business. I told him this all the time because Hunter was basically telling me the other day, like, we had like a big disagreement about a few things, which he was definitely in the right about this one particular thing. But a conversation it led to is I've actually been shamed over the years by different people for saying I was going to do things that I never did. Okay. I said, listen, the reason why is because I'm a mad fucking genius. Okay. I'm a fucking scientist out here. All right. And if the rest of the world only ever does what they say they're going to do, I stick to my word forever. And you did 5 things this year. Oh, cool. You said you were going to like not miss a day of work and keep your lawn mowed. Good for you. Okay. If I'm out here doing 50 fucking things and I said I was going to do 75 of them and 25 didn't happen, fuck you. That's 45 more. So it's just like not being so stubborn as to not ever be able to change your mind, which I was going to say that earlier about you being like, I'm full fucking Christian now, but then you weren't stubborn and too bought in.
And
like, I'm going to let everybody down. I have to be this now.
And oh my gosh, I'm receiving so much because I say I define myself as stuff, but it's just like I change my underwear every day, or sometimes 5 times a day. I think change is so important.
I had said several times before the pandemic, I was like, I'm going to get back into stand-up. I'm going to get back into comedy.
You're fucking hilarious.
I was saying that. I was like saying it, whatever. And then this girl who loved this girl to death, it's not her fault, but she was like, you always say you're going to get back into comedy. You're like full of shit, whatever. I'm like, bitch, I just got back from, I just fucking made so much money in these fucking 4 cities. I'm like running a fucking thing. What do you, oh, sorry, I didn't get to the open mic.
And then it's like,
sorry.
and then that's like what we were talking about earlier about, I think the roommate thing. We might receive it. Maybe she was trying to motivate you and encourage you. So instead, maybe
it was an attack.
She could have been like, hey, you're fucking hilarious. We should record. You know what I mean? She could have.
No,
it
was
frustrated.
It was like a jab.
Oh, it was like a condescending, like, oh, you're fucking.
It was a jab at me. Yeah. So it wasn't like a motivational, like, when are you gonna do comedy? It was like, you always say you're gonna do comedy. Like, are you ever gonna why don't you ever like do some of the shit you say you're gonna do?
Yeah.
I'm like, again, I'm doing 50 fucking things. If I say 75 and 25 don't happen, I'm cool with that. Okay. Elon Musk said that their fucking rocket was gonna just shoot to the fucking moon the other day. It blew up as soon as it fucking tried to take off. Okay. Elon makes some fucking broken promises.
You know his girlfriend?
Grimes. Whoa, you are Grimes, I just realized.
That's all I have
Grimes.
to motherfucking say.
All right. Hey, we're going to wrap this up now. This will now officially be the longest episode of the podcast.
Wait, really?
The other day, it was going to be.
Oh my God.
The other day was, you're having so much fun, you didn't even realize, right?
I could have sat here all day with you.
Do a part 2 with me some other time. The other day it was going to be the longest, but I was an idiot, and Hunter and I were sitting out in the grass, and I did the last hour of the podcast laying on my back with this on my chest, and it was so funny and so good, but we lost all the audio. I was so mad.
Yeah, I hate it when that happens.
I was so upset, but okay, cool. So do you want, I would say, we probably don't want anybody to follow you on anything now.
No.
Wait till you get the website.
We're going to come back, because it's always different. So...
But it won't be always different. Soon it will be your home-based website.
I'm going to have some sort of consistency. So right now, it's just... They'll be...
Just follow her energy, like, in your life in general. I'm having a bad feeling.
Really?
You've, like, scooted me over here. I might have not been on this camera, like, the whole time. I think I might have not been on camera. I really just realized how far over here... Don't get too touchy with me. We have a firm friendship boundary.
I was just hugging you.
I just realized I've probably not been on this camera the entire fucking episode. I really don't care. A podcast is for audio. Get up. Don't fall out of that chair. Either way, though, you'll have been on it, so that's fine. Yeah.
Inching towards you and you were trying to keep your
I really think that's what happened. You're like fucking, and so then I'll stare in your soul for 5 hours. And I'm like... No, what it is this chair sucks, and I've been leaning back, so I think I've been,
I've definitely been getting closer and closer.
You know what's funny? Is now I bet it'll be almost like a time-lapse video where, like, you see the moon go across. Someone can time-lapse this, and it shows me slowly moving over off screen. That's probably how this is going to go. All right, guys. All right, everybody. 5-star review on iTunes. Do that for me. How have you not done that if you haven't done it yet? Sign up for the mastermind, evolutionailymastermind.com. I quoted several times about the calls that we fucking do in there. We should bring you on one of those. That would be fun. That would be funny. Yeah. Evolutionailymastermind.com. You're missing out on that. We do it every week. I post all this crazy shit in here. Some of the stuff where you're like, you hear me kind of like mention a date or a situation and stuff. I go in depth, usually with like videos, posts on these situations. Evolutionailymastermind.com. Fucking sign up. All right. Thanks for being here, homie. Fucking chakra kitty.